the thing is, I feel like you got to prioritize yourself and understand you're not trying to be selfish, but understand that when you choose yourself, there are going to be times where choosing yourself is going to clash with choosing others.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain.
All right. Yeah. I really don't know how to like start this off, so I'm just going to start it off just going straight into it. Man, podcast back. Obviously, I'm gonna just jump right into it. Like, obviously, you can see it's just me, camera focused on just one person. You feel me? Like I announced on the gram, Jade got a lot of things going on, taking up a time, different reasons, and just right now, podcast ain't the best thing for her to continue on. But you know what I mean, you already know it's all love. Jade is my ace. You feel me? Killa. So. She unfortunately not gonna be able to continue with the podcast. Hopefully in the future we can do some episodes or something like that with her on the show as a guest on some future things like that. But for right now, we're just gonna keep moving and keep motion as it is. So this how the podcast moving forward. That's, like I said, that was just the reason why she loved just things going on, but it's still all love between us. Even though she's still getting on my nerves. But yeah, man, I don't want to be jumping around too much. So. Like I said, with that, miss you, Jade. Love you, baby. All that love still. Now, the thing is, with the podcast, obviously, with it just being me, we're going to have a few little changes to the show, so it's going to run a little bit different. But, you know what I mean, we still going to be on the same type of topics, still going to be talking about real stuff, just a little bit less banter. So, like, obviously, sometimes we got on, like, a whole lot of bullshit. We got to talking about, like, playing the card games and shit like that. And if I had guests in the future, you know, we might do some things like that, but I'm gonna still like dive into like just like social, psychological type topics like that, just from like a fun, laughing, joking kind of standpoint, but still speaking about real shit. Let me see that. So with that, the only thing I feel like a big thing with it, like obviously with it not having both of us, I can just kind of talk and just get into my bag. Just I can be like real focused on my point, but we lose the fact that like banner sometimes like, all right, I got my stances. If you know me, you know I'm real firm and like whatever I believe in, I stand on my stances. But sometimes you talking to somebody else at the live, you can get somebody hearing like feedback. You can get that feel of like, all right, bet I think this, but then it's that. And then somebody else can say something and you just kind of like really change your perspective. So that's what's going to kind of be lost with the podcast. Not having Jay here, I'm no longer going to be able to like kind of live time with y'all here, like feedback, but I'm still going to give y'all real ass thoughts and shit, man. Look in the comments on clips, whatever you see it in, man, you see this podcast, you can hit me with some feedback. Like you got a feedback, some thoughts, like you fucking with it, or you got a different perspective or thought on something I done spoke on. Hey man, feel more than welcome to say something. I really want to hear feedback. Cause I like, look, like I said, I stand firm on my stances, but I do heavily feel like I say some shit was like, I don't know if I agree with what I just said. So y'all coming in, hitting the comments, will kind of give me that chance to hear somebody else talking about some shit that I can get a different viewpoint on. So definitely looking forward to that as the podcast continue to grow out. Like I said, with that, like any requested suggestions or anything, like on future topics. So right now I got a list of topics that I'm kind of hit on these first few episodes. But over time, like I say, man, y'all want to send in something, you want to hear me talk about some shit, get in, hear my perspective, send in your different, like I said, different perspective on something I talked about, man. Run that in. We can do what we do. So man, basically, like I said, the vibe is it's a different show, same goals. So we're gonna be still, or same show, different goals, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I think it's same show, different goals. Whatever. All right, I fucked up. We running the motherfucker. I'm gonna be talking about the same type of topics, just by myself, unfortunately. But like I said, future guest episodes, we're gonna definitely be able to run it and get a little bit more bouncer back in with it. So with that being said, just want y'all to know, man, still gonna be a dope ass podcast. But the Jade, look, miss you. I feel like it's gonna be people who be like, damn, it ain't the same without Jay, but you know what I mean? We still gonna do what we do, and like I said, we're gonna have on some future joints. With that said, having that nice little intro beginning, let me speak on what's been going on, man. Like for me, on the podcast, I was gonna bring it back earlier, but at the time, like last month, recently, I was on a fast, and with my fast, I had a few different things going on. One of the reasons I didn't want to come back from the fast was I'm trying to be focused on my fast, focus on my priorities. And another thing is my face. I was not shaving during my fast. I wasn't shaving no hair on my skin, like nothing, just letting everything grow out. And I mean, you see my facial hair is a little bit doing more, but it was like all on my neck, all everything. My lip was going crazy with the hair on, a mustache. I ain't the type of person to be all furry face and stuff. So like that was a lot for me. So I was like, let's wait to come back with the podcast once I done kind of let that fast go through, let that go on. I know my partner was like, boy, shade that shit. I'm like, look, bud, I'm a fast. I'm doing it because of that. Hey, my boy B, if you want to rock with me on that next fast, you already know what it is. So with my fast, like, so the things I was doing on my fast, I was fasting from a few things. Like, this is my third time doing a fast. My prior fast, I had always done a fast so I could eat one time a day. And usually, like this time I did it after 6:30, I could eat my one meal a day. Other than that, all I could have was water throughout the rest of the whole day. So it's just straight water, and it's that one meal. With that one meal, like I had juice or something like that. So, but that's it. No snacks, no anything else in between the day. I ain't doing any dessert or anything like that. And I ain't gonna stunt. I be eating anyway. So like my meals during that fast, I was making sure that one meal was hitting, but it was doing what it's supposed to. And this is my first time, like, this was the easiest food-wise fast that I ever had. Like, I think I had, like, 1 week that kind of, like, messed with me a little bit, but, like, I really kind of went through the food-wise on this fast pretty good. Now, a thing for me, like, God kind of hit me with was I also had a couple more things on it. The second thing I had on my fast, I couldn't do any drinking, no alcohol. And alcohol ain't really too big a thing for me because if I'm popping out with my folks, I really can just be cooling and just, I don't really need to drink. But if I go out, I'm probably gonna drink because, you know, sometimes some settings, some clubs, some lounges or whatever be kind of like boring or whatever. So I drink just in case to like balance me out. And so it was like not drinking had me like, all right, well, I just ain't stepping out during this time period because that ain't me. So I did no drinking. And so that means I didn't go out anywhere during the time of my fast. And the third and last thing was, and I think this was the last one to come to me, like the last one God hit me with, no sexual interactions. You know what I mean? And I know I told somebody, it was like, well, you just be having sex like that? You must be having too much. I'm like, nah, look, it ain't even like that. It ain't like it's just like that. It's just like, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you know things like messing up your focus and it's just like God like speaking to me, it's like, it wasn't nothing crazy, but it was just like, I feel like this will definitely help me with my focus. And if for sure was something during the time that helped me with my focus, like having any sexual interactions. And for me, that meant like anything that's like, obviously it means sex like itself, like, you know what I mean? No penetration. But also for me, it meant no kissing. So like, we rock, like, no kiss, none of that. Like, hey, look, we just cooling, no energy. It was a struggle at times, you know what I mean? And the crazy part, I done went 21 days plenty of times in my life. Oh yeah, my fast was 21 days, if I ain't said it before. So I done went 21 days plenty of times in my life without having sex or anything like that. But it's just like, the knowing that you choosing this, making it so trash, like super trash. And I had went like celibate like one time in college, and I stopped being celibate when I realized, because I did it my senior year, I was like, oh man, I'm being celibate. Hold on, at the end of this celibacy, I'm a senior. I know half the other seniors in college. We ain't finna get together. So if I give somebody new, it's gonna have to probably be like a freshman or something. I ain't finna wait around for no freshman. Oh, this ain't making no sense. Oh, let's get rid of this celibacy. But I did it for like a few months. My partner then was hating on me. They ain't believe in me. But you know, we did what we did. We did what we did for my little time. But yeah, that celibacy shit wasn't what to do. So yeah, that's what I had going on with that fast. So speaking on it, like just letting y'all know, like that's the fast I did. That's why I fasted. That's what I fasted from. But just to be honest with you, man, like after having that fast done, I feel amazing. Like real talk, like I was like some of my most productive that I ever been this year, or that I've been this year for sure during that fast time. Like I do a lot of things. I do music. I write. Obviously this podcast, my real job, stuff like that outside of this. And just like, I feel like in all of them areas, I was a lot more focused. I was a lot more on it. Like in my book, I wrote like a few chapters more when I hadn't done one whole chapter this year. I did wrote like 3 on. So it's just like that fast really put me in a kind of focus, kind of mindset of getting things done and just like a different kind of space, like going to the gym. I go to the gym at like 5, 7 in the morning. Sometimes I'd be like 6 getting there late. During the fast, I was on it. I'm kind of off on that fast. It's like the week following up, I was a little bit late getting to the gym. It's like, oh man, I ain't got nothing to hold me back, but it's just like knowing that restraint gone, just kind of hold you back a little different. So yeah, man, the fast, it'll probably be like later on this year, next time I do a fast, but I'm gonna tell y'all about it. So like if you rocking with me or something like that, you might be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna tap in with Ayo. I'm gonna do a fast with him. So, you know what I mean? Y'all fuck with me. So that's what I've been having going on. That's what my life been here for. So with that being said, you heard me. You already know what the fuck it is. Welcome to the motherfucking StoryHouse podcast, man. It's StoryHouse show. I like how SHxo sound, but I know it's a podcast, but I like how StoryHouse sound. Like, you know what I mean? So just rock with me on that shit. So y'all already know, man, it's family. Y'all in this bitch. We rocking. We doing our thing. Hey, we cousins. I might be your uncle. I might be your cousin to some of y'all people. Might be a brother to some other people or something like that. But y'all already know, man, it's family. Take y'all motherfucking shoes off at the door. Quit playing with me. Don't be tracking no dirt up in here. Stop opening my refrigerator. Let's go in this motherfucking get stupid. You feel me? All right. So with that said, let's get on to some fire shit. I mean, I want to like put y'all on every now and again. If I have something, I'm gonna like tell y'all something that I think kind of fire out or whatever, or something that I be checking in. If you see the shirt, you know what I mean? You see I got an anime shirt rocking. You feel me? Got my boy Gohan on. Like, hey, I ain't gonna lie. Dragon Ball Z, that boy turned to love. He wasn't what it do at a point in time, but when he was like young Gohan, that was my kid. That was my killer right there. So, got a Gohan shirt on. And so the thing I'm gonna talk about is gonna be Crunchyroll, anime streaming service. If you check out anime or if you don't, because I just put somebody on an anime, Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train movie. I was like, hey, look, man. And they don't watch anime. I was like, hey, look, man, that part right here later on, it's a part in this movie where somebody cried about this person. They was like, oh, that person's stupid or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Got on, so later on in the movie, they over the tears fall. I'm like, hold on, am I hearing? I ain't want to just like look at them like, oh yeah, they got y'all, they got them tears dropping. You know what I mean? Demon Slayer anime doing what it's supposed to do. So you know what I mean? Putting people on the same new. But yeah, so that was real dope, like getting a chance to that. But the thing is, I'm talking about Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has for the longest not had profiles like any other streaming service. So you got like whatever you got, but that's it. Ain't no, oh, you got the second, third, whatever. But they got like multiple streams. So multiple people can watch it at the same time, but you can only have one profile. That's so fucking stupid. If it's multiple people watching, that means it's a different person watching at the same time, which means we got different preferences, which means they should not be fucking up my viewing history. So I'm like, damn, how it took y'all this long to get this shit. Cause I came to Crunchyroll from Funimation, cause you know Funimation just ended for y'all anime fans. And so it was just like, ah, shit, that's dope that y'all moved it over. I mean, more anime in one spot, but finally getting the profiles is like, damn, finally I can watch the shit I want. Cause I hate if I want to like have somebody use my Crunchyroll and now they own my profile and now they watching my shit and now I got to remember where I'm at. I'm on episode 35. They on episode 12, fucking the shit up. You know what I mean? Get it together. So now they finally got that shit. So I'm happy that they made them changes. So, and it just kind of make everything a little bit less cluttered. So that's the fire shit I'm putting you on. If you watch Crunchyroll, now you can put profiles on there, a little bit something different. With that said, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie, man. It's just me talking. I can talk like a motherfucker, but I was like, I ain't gonna lie. I was nervous a little bit on like doing the show. Like, damn, is it just gonna be me just running my shit? Am I really gonna be able to run this conversation and make the shit make sense? And this being the first episode back, we gonna motherfucking see. I kind of been running and talking for a minute right now. Sometimes, you know, like sometimes you be talking like, damn, nigga just talking. But fuck it, I guess I be talking. You feel me? So, with that being said, let's get into what I'm calling the vent. This is the time of the podcast or the show where I get into like our main topic, our main subject. And with that, like I said, I want to introduce myself and how I feel about me and the type of topics, because I told y'all we're going to be talking about like social, psychological type of topics like that from like just kind of a more casual, comfortable kind of standpoint. Because sometimes shit, like for me, I feel like topics like that always try to be talked about so deep and so heavy. And it's like, man, sometimes I get it. That's how some people are. But somebody like myself, something that can be super sad going on, but shit, something funny can happen. I'm fucking laugh. Like, fuck it. Like, fucking stupid. Like, fuck it. You ain't gotta, just because you sad, you ain't gotta be mad at the word. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the kind of energy I want to approach these topics from. But at moments, I'm gonna be like super direct and straight on it. Like, hey, nah, this is gonna be real on it. But still, like, if it comes, shit, jokes can happen. So just know that's how I'm rocking with it. I like to think of myself as a life university, a university of life type of psychologist. Because, you know what I mean? I just pay attention to people. I pay attention to myself. So I try to stay self-aware, try to be aware of other people. Like, obviously, I fuck up sometimes. I fuck up with how I pay attention to myself or pay attention to other people. But I always trying to learn. So that's just the premise that this show built on. Obviously, you can tell how I'm talking. Like, the subject I'm talking about, psychology and all that kind of shit. But obviously, you hear how I'm talking. I'm just kind of kicking my shit. And that's the energy that I'm on. Like, I want to be able to kind of, like, provide that. Now, we talking about that kind of deep shit, but it's like, hold on, that nigga said some deep shit, but he was talking like crazy. But I feel how he was talking, though. And that's what I want to get his shit to. Like, the folks who, like, kick that kind of energy. So, like I said, I feel like that's the kind of thing I am. Like, pay attention to people. Cause shit, like Jade, shit, you know what I mean? Shout out to Killa. She in school for psychology, and like I used to always like chop it up with her on different shit, like bringing up different things that just me paying attention to people. And like buku of the things that I just regularly talk about, she like, oh yeah, we talked about that in psychology. They talked about that same kind of principle that she was talking about. I was like, I ain't telling you, I told you, but I told you what I told you, you feel me? So that's how it is. So that's the kind of energy I'm gonna be on. But hey, I ain't arrogant. I be fucking up like I said. So, with that said, also, if anybody like, oh, well, shit, you feel like you know psychology and you could do all that shit, why you ain't getting into psychology? Why you ain't studying it? Why you ain't trying to be better for the people and all that shit? Because, bruh, I also know what's for me and what ain't for me. And, like, full-time psychology or something like that, like, nah, my brain, my mental, I don't want that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, one, you checked the previous episode, I think it was, like, me and Jay talked about psychology and, like, why I think people get into psychology. I'm not interested into it enough. I just pay attention to it. Because that don't interest me. I don't want to know what y'all got going on in y'all head. I just want to make better social interactions for me. But psychology, man, you got to really delve in and deal with people. And sometimes, like, if you a psychologist, like, man, like, one, you probably got a decent amount of things going on yourself. But also, you got to pay attention to, like, you got to, on a regular, you hearing people's trauma. And, I mean, some people's trauma and the experiences they going through is, like, heavy as hell. And, like, I know for me, like, I love to have y'all feedback. But, shit, what I know is if y'all, shit, let's say this podcast blow up, go stupid. I can just stop for a second and just stop paying attention and like, hey, I can't read the comments right now. Y'all gonna have to chill for a second. I can't take in all this. But you a psychologist, that's your job. People paying you, you gotta come and deal with all that heaviness every day. And I know like that ain't for me. That ain't the space that's meant for me. And so this is a space that I feel like I can kind of help and like provide some psychology type of perspective without me living in that space on a regular like that. So that's the kind of thing and shit. Obviously, I'm not a fucking expert, so don't come at me with that kind of shit. Look, and also, I'm not another. I know, like, I be seeing this shit on like TikTok or social media, or whatever. Like, every dude try to start a podcast thinking he know everything and like kind of reading women. Hey, look, man, I'm gonna give my perspective and my thoughts. Shit, I'm gonna let y'all know right now. It's gonna be buku shit that I say that the masses, society, all that shit disagree with, because it's like that ain't how y'all view shit. But like, this is how I'm just telling you how I feel, how I view it, and maybe. If you take some of my perspective, if you struggling with something, hey, maybe try what I'm talking about. It might work for you, it might not, but definitely be just willing to try it. So, yeah, so I ain't just a dude who think I know everything. I'm gonna sometimes talk shit about things that women be doing. I'm gonna talk things about things that men be doing, talk shit about things that just people be doing, because sometimes it's just a people thing. It's a people thing than a gender thing or something like that. You know what I mean? Just like it's who you are. It ain't based on the other shit that make up who you are. So, all that being said, I know I got long. Hey man, I don't know how to fucking do this. I don't fucking know how to run a podcast. So I'm trying to structure this shit together. If I feel like I'm off, my bad. If I feel like, oh no, you good, bro, you running through it smooth. All right, for sure. My bad for fucking it up. But yeah, so the main topic I want to get into, word choice I chose for this is mental responsibility. And I don't even know like what that like make people think of when you hear it. It's just like maybe the word mental. But it's just like, for me, mental health is something that's extremely, it's being talked about a whole lot more nowadays. So like mental health is a subject, it's a topic to be spoken about. I'm black, come from the black community. It's already a known thing. Black people don't want to talk about mental health. Black people don't want to go into mental health, all those type of things. And I mean, other races as well. Cause I mean, let's be clear. That's a black society stigma. But I mean, it's also like other people as well. Like obviously, I know that's the space that we operate from. If you are black watching it, but it's other people as well. Like mental health, like shit. People like if you dealing with mental health, you got a psychologist, you go to therapy, you crazy. You got something. You know what I mean? That's the mindset. But we all got something. We all got certain levels of trauma and different things we go through. So I feel like it's good that mental health is a whole lot more at the forefront. Obviously, for some people, it's not as much, but I do feel like mental health is very much being spoken about. It's a huge topic. Everybody kind of really on it, especially like the youth and them, like younger folks. They growing up in a society where mental health is regularly spoken about. It's always mental health. Hey, what you doing? Take your mental health days off. Your job trying to have you do this. Hey, look, prioritize yourself. Make sure your mental good. So I really feel like that's big and that's important. I couldn't even really tell you how I grew up with my mind and how I view mental health, because I know I didn't definitely think about it too much, but I know I probably subconsciously did things to make sure my mental health was good. Cause shit, I know like on my don't give a fuck kind of mindset, like I know I fuck around like in college just cause it made me feel good. I be walking with my folk now, but shit, I'm listening to my music and I just catch my vibe and I'm like, fuck it, I just start going off on my own, dancing ahead of the group, cause I'm like, this what I want to do and this made me happy right now. So shit, sometimes you just got to do the shit that make you happy. You might look stupid to other people, like, oh, he looking stupid, but hey, it made me feel better. So that's what I used to do, and I still do this shit today if I want to. I don't really be walking around no more, walking around places that much. Like, so yeah. So what am I getting to? Mental responsibility. So the part is from mental health to mental responsibility is the part of your mental health that you're responsible for. Because we can speak about mental health, and I'm obviously at points in time getting to mental health, but it's not just purely, oh, let's talk about mental health. Oh, you've been through this, and it's so sad and these things. But it's like, all right, the things that you've been through, the things that you go through, the things that you do, whatever it is affecting your mental health, those are things. But the responsibility aspect, what you doing about it, how you handling it, what mentally are you doing, what are you holding yourself responsible for, and what are you holding those around you responsible for? So for me, like with mental health, you responsible for making sure your mental health is okay. Like that's like, I get it. People around you, the number one person who responsible for making sure you mentally okay is you. Like, and that's no disrespect to anybody and whatever trauma you've been through or whatever things, you got to make sure you mentally good. Like, it might not be what you want to hear or what you like to hear, or you like, oh, but I'm this. Look, bruh, we all got to make sure we okay. And that's not to say it's easy. And I mean, I say that with any topics, all the stuff I talk about in the future references. Just because I say it, like speaking about anything is easier to say anything than to do it. But I mean, that don't change the fact you still need to hear about it and see it and hear it before you even realize to make the action. So I'm going to talk about shit from that kind of mindset. So you got to be responsible for your mental health. And you also got to be responsible for, like, once you're able to prioritize your mental health, understanding that you also, to an extent, are responsible for the mental health of those around you, the ones you love. Because it's like, yeah, you're responsible for making sure you're okay. But if you're doing things for your mental health, but there's a point in time where the things you're doing are selfish to an extent of where you're bleeding on those around you, then it's like, you there's a level of the responsibility the social responsibility of it that you're not holding. Because like mentally, you got to make sure you're okay. Like that's a big thing. Like for me, like making sure you're handling your mental health. So let me kind of go into it. That is like kind of thing, kind of keeping up with my keeping up with myself. So like I say, end of the day, you're responsible for your mental health. And what I want to go into is, like I say, the social aspect, which I kind of view as like kind of from the golden rule, you know what I mean? Like to do on the others as you want to be done, as you want them to do to you. And I feel like that really applied to like the from a mental health aspect, like the effect you have to be attentive to the effect of your behavior on yourself as well as your behavior on others, and vice versa, like paying attention to how people have an effect on you and the way that they have an effect on themselves. So like just paying attention to, is that person treating themselves well? Are they treating me well? Am I treating myself well? Am I treating others well? So like something in that golden rule kind of mindset with it. And so like I said, for me, you always got to check yourself first. And I know like for some people, and people are like, oh, society, but you got to care about others and all those things. I view it from the same kind of way, like how they say when you want to, if you're on an airplane, how you got to secure your mask first. You got to really realize and understand the importance of securing yourself first. Because somebody who trying to help somebody else, like you trying to like, oh, let me help you. You helping somebody when you not in a real solid state. And there's nothing wrong with trying to help somebody. Like you ain't got to be like, oh, I got everything perfect before I help somebody else. But if you like really like falling and you struggling, you trying to help somebody else up, or you trying to get like mental advice to somebody, if you're going through significant trauma that you haven't helped and haven't dealt with, you're probably going to be giving bleeding type advice to the person that you helping, that you like, oh, let me help you out. It's like, nah, you really ain't in a position to give that kind of perspective, because your perspective is tainted and it's a little bit dark. And I mean, if you love somebody, my opinions, you trying to help that person, give information that's like kind of bettering them. And sometimes you need to have a time to sit back and reflect. Is the information I'm actually giving out helpful? Is this really better for them? Is this like building them up, or this is just like the pain and hurt that I'm going through kind of, and I'm giving that perspective, and I'm just going to lead them to a path that I don't want them to be on, but unconsciously that's what I'm doing by giving that kind of advice. And so you just got to take the time for yourself, like self-reflect, find out how you're feeling, like really find out how you're feeling. Because like I say, sometimes we think we feeling a way, but have you took the time to really sit down and think about what you said? Like I'm a big believer in, you don't do anything just because, or it is what it is. Like, nah, nothing is what it is, or just because. Like the things you do, it has a reason. If you take the time and think about it, like you think really deep, most actions that you do, you'll realize, oh, I did it for this reason. Oh, I did it for this reason. Like for me, I love creative things, but I understand the fact it ain't just like, oh, I'm just an artistic born person. Nah, like I grew up in an environment and things that were around me that intrigued me, that drew me to art. My brother was a big artist, so he was around this stuff. I don't know his reasoning to get into it. That'd have to be a different conversation. Maybe my bro may be on one day. But like seeing him always being into artistic passions and like seeing people that I seen, some media or whatever, all those things, it just kind of drew me in. It was like, oh, this kind of free expression. And so that's why I'm a big person on like art, on the artistic fields. But just make sure you questioning and figuring out why you're doing the things. Now with the case of choosing yourself, the thing is, I feel like you got to prioritize yourself and understand you're not trying to be selfish, but understand that when you choose yourself, there are going to be times where choosing yourself is going to clash with choosing others. And it's not to be just, oh, I'm aiming to only choose myself. It's just understanding sometimes the things that you prioritize for yourself cannot be incongruent with the things that you're trying to prioritize for somebody else. So you just have to take the time to figure out, all right, I want to help this person. I want to do this thing for somebody else. But if I do that same thing, it will literally hurt me more than it will help them. And that just should not be the goal. Like at times, sacrifice is great. It's an amazing thing. But understanding, like, am I sacrificing myself for that person? And is the sacrifice even going to help them? And you just got to kind of find it out sometimes. Like, just really dig deep, find out how much of the sacrifices that I'm making for somebody else, how much of it is harming me. Because you don't want to, the goal obviously is to make sacrifices for others, but you don't want to be in a position to where you lose yourself. And that kind of goes into like I say, balancing that selfishness. Well, not selfishness, because I don't even want to use the word selfish. Looking into it, it was a word I ain't gonna lie, I used to kind of run with, but I'll get into that on another episode. But like the balance of like doing things for yourself and others and making sacrifices for others. The reason why I say it's important is because to me, happiness is one of the most important things in life. Like you can do all other kind of things, but finding out whatever thing make you happy. And so like getting into the mental health aspect, I want to talk about happiness and finding what makes you happy. And this is like, for me, like filling your life with the things that make you happy, and like really realizing what make you happy. Like, what is the thing that make me happy? Like, oh, going to run make me happy, or oh, doing this make me happy, or being around friends make me happy, or watching TV, like whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody got different things that make them happy, but like genuinely make you happy. Like not like in my opinion, like a social, like not a, this is what society say makes everybody happy. Oh, this is the things that make happy. Or like, oh, chocolate is what make everybody. I mean, don't get me wrong, endorphins get released and things like that. But I mean, the thing that just that action of that purely makes you happy. Find those things that make you happy and like strive and do the things, the work toward getting toward it. Because a big thing I want to say is, even though we have things that make us happy, understanding the fact that the work and the effort and the things that we have to do to get to making us happy, sometimes it's shit you don't want to do. So don't think like, oh, well, I want to be happy or this make me happy. It's like, now happiness is not just purely choosing all the things you want to do. It's doing the things to get to the end result that you want to get to. Like make sure whatever you're doing aligns to getting to the end result. So like for me, my ass, I don't like hitting the gym. I mean, sometimes it's cool, but me being in a certain physical state makes me happy. So I get my ass in that gym. But I don't want to do that shit all the time. So I mean, just that's like an example. Like things that you do, the end result is the thing that makes you happy. The work that you had to do in the middle might not make you happy. And I mean, it's great and it's amazing. Like when you can find happiness in the work that you're doing, but sometimes making that sacrifice for your time or whatever the things that you don't want to do to get to the happiness that you do want to get. And that's like I said, still just kind of rolling back into like the mental responsibility. You're responsible for your own happiness. Like it's great when other people can help provide to it, but you got to be the lead person that provides you with happiness. Because even like for me, like relationship kind of things, and obviously we can talk about romantic relationships, but whoever it is, like I don't believe in like the, oh, you complete me. No, I'm a whole, you a whole. Let's be a whole together. We can be two. But like if you're not complete until you have somebody else in your life, that means y'all probably draining from each other more than anything. Because like why you not happy by yourself? Oh, well then, like, you're going to probably bring the unhappiness that you had by yourself. Like, you might get happier with me, but you're going to kind of bring a bit of that into what we have together. And now we can't be happy. It's happy together because you're only happy with me. So during the time you're not with me, you're not as happy. You gotta just focus on your own happiness, and like y'all can grow through things together. So something I kind of spoke to, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna fucking be on rants. My shit gonna kind of bounce all over the place. Like, fuck, just bear with me, ride with me on this shit. Just, hey, look, you find some dope information in here, fuck with it. If you like, most of that shit he talked about was stupid, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, so like another thing I'm gonna kind of get into, for me, society versus yourself. And like I was saying earlier, like finding out whether or not something you do is because of society or is it because of yourself. Or like yourself being, for me, is like things that you honestly believe, or finding like something a little bit deep in your true self. Because to me, culture make us think that some things is just how life work or just how people work, when it ain't. It ain't how just life gotta work. It's how that group of people, how certain people do things. So it's so many things. I feel like, they just being a boy. That's just a little girl doing it. It's just this. Like, bruh, that mean at that child age, y'all done already accepted that's just what that child gonna do. That's just what that kid gonna do. So now you grown, and now you believe that same action. You doing actions based upon that. And for me, I feel like that's just like a really unfortunate thing. And I know it's buku people like, you saying that, but this buku shit is just a kid. Like, boys gonna be boys. Man, y'all got me fucked up, but y'all think little boys gotta be musty. That shit crazy here. That's cause y'all ain't made that little boy handle and care and prioritize how the fuck he smell. That boy musty cause you let him be musty. You think little girl, I know plenty of little girls who be out here musty. It ain't no gender thing, it's what you let your kids get away with. I ain't trying to be on no rants or whatever shit, so, but yeah. And the same thing with like little girls, like, man, like, shit, you think when you present a child with pink and you present another child with blue, that it's just them and they choosing these colors? That's just girls' favorite color. That's just boys. Come on now. But like I said, I say that just to kind of get speaking on the case of like society and my opinion of like how culture is. So, and a real big reason why I'm on it is because sometimes we so heavy on like, this is just how society is, or this is just how culture is, and that's just how it is, and those are the things. But it's like, bro, if you go look into another society, you look at another culture, another area somewhere in the world, the things that in our mind that's just how people work, they ain't doing that shit at all. So at that point for me, it's like, it's purely, I don't even have to like go into some deep research, period. If another whole culture doesn't subscribe to this action or behavior at all and it's not present, that is a learned behavior. So if there's some shit in your society, your culture that you don't agree with, understand you can unlearn that behavior and start moving in a different direction. And so like for me, that's something like I just want to present. One, that's just a big topic for me, just overall, period. That's gonna be something y'all gonna hear me peep on. Like, I disagree with a lot of society shit. I ain't gonna lie, I grew up in it, so shit. Some of my actions and behaviors still based on that shit, but I'm trying to do the action to unlearn that shit to like what I feel is a better self. Just like whenever I had kids, the shit that I want to raise them on, not the shit of like, this is what you're supposed to do with your kids. Like, nah, fuck that. And with speaking to that, damn, I guess some of my notes is like really like off kilter from the main topic, but nature versus nurture. And I know like it's probably like buku people who got like different opinions of nature, nurture. I'm gonna just let you know offhand, I'm a nurture person. I believe nurture is way bigger on developing who you are than nature. Cause like nature is like physically what you're given. That's like physical traits, hormones, things like that. It's like, yeah, like one is a fact, females do have different hormonal setups than men. So yeah, that's a nature thing right there. But nurture is how you view things and what you do. So, because regardless of whatever you might have naturally been given, nurture and experiences that you have gonna develop and decide upon what you do and all your actions. So, like for myself, like something I look at like nurture versus nature. My physical breakdown, like how I look, I'm fucking 6'6", roughly around 220, depending upon how much I'm in the gym, how much I'm eating and shit like that. But like that's just what nature gave me the 6'6". The 220 is kind of like, you know what I mean, my metabolism, different things like that for my hormones, genetics and shit. But shit, if I fuck off and I ain't eating right or I ain't working the fuck out, that weight gonna fluctuate. The 6'6" gonna be 6'6", but shit, I might be a slimmer 6'6", or I might be 6'6", 360, you know what I mean? And so like that's a nurture thing, like how I learned, nigga, take care of your body. So like for me, like a thing I think about like during the pandemic, I was like, I probably hit 240 at a point in time, but like around 240 I got up to. And I know for some of y'all like 240, that's just 20 more pounds. That ain't shit. For me, that was a lot. That's big as I've never been in my motherfucking life. So I ain't like that shit. It wasn't 220, it wasn't 240 a muscle. That was goddamn 240 of what the fuck. Like I say, that's just a part for me that's like, which speaks more to like the nurture aspect of like what you learn, how I do, because that's what I did. My actions, me not being on my shit, me fucking off, me laying around, me eating more, me being in the house and not making, like obviously you couldn't get outside or whatever, but me not making the decisions or whatever to like try to be as active and proactive as I could, because I ain't gonna lie, I was a minute before I started working the fuck back out during the pandemic. And shit, it was when I started touching my side. I was like, that shit's soft. I ain't never been so fucking soft on my side. I was like, the fuck? So yeah, that shit like really push a nigga. But at the same time, speaking on to like the things I want to do, I want to be more cut. Like I ain't really try to crazy and some shit like that. But I like to be more cut. But I ain't doing the more work to get more cut. I'm doing the work to like make sure I keep a little bit, trim a little bit. But I ain't doing the extra to like get cut like that. So just the shit that you do is based on you. And to me, the way that you get to what you prioritize is based on your nurture. Like if you raise a kid to prioritize, like I said, bathing yourself. You raise, I don't care, man, woman, you raise the motherfucker, hey, cleanliness is important. You probably gonna have that child being clean when they get older. And the method that you go about it, because you in a motherfucker, clean, wash it, they probably gonna be mad or whatever, they ain't gonna wanna do it. They doing it because they gotta do it. But you teach them, hey, cleanliness makes you feel better, do all this shit. Hey, they probably gonna be like, oh, my parents told me that, oh, I should be clean. Clean is something to strive for. All right, so now I'm doing it because it's something we should be doing, not because I was made to do it. You know what I mean? That's the difference between like how you getting the motherfucking kids information. I'm definitely like getting off from mental responsibility. Well, I'm getting into it, but like just giving you different aspects. So, and I'm also trying to get y'all me a little bit more since it's just me here instead of me and Killa. Like I'm viewed as an asshole, like by a lot of people. I don't know, like buku people who like call me an asshole. And like for me, when I was like in my teens or some point in time, I don't know when it was, like my brother, I feel like it was a phone call or some shit like that, but we was chopping up about some shit. And he was like, well, you're an asshole. He's like, I was like, damn, because my brother, I don't really look up to nobody in life. I ain't never looked up to people in life, but the closest thing of me looking up to anybody in my life would have been my brother. That's just like how I was. Because I was just like, shit, I like myself. But that'd be probably the closest next thing I look up to somebody. So like I think like, and at that point in time, like how I viewed and saw my brother was like, oh damn, this man said I'm an asshole. Am I an asshole? Damn, I guess I'm an asshole. And then like for a while, I mean, I say a while as in like probably recently up until like this year or like late last year, I kind of ran with I'm an asshole, like not as like a good thing or not as necessarily a bad or worse thing. It's just like, I do some shit that's kind of asshole, like whatever. But then like for me recently, something I done kind of got on is like, nah, I really ain't no asshole. Like sometimes I just speak my opinion and say the shit. I joke around or whatever, but nah, I ain't no asshole. Like it's plenty of shit that people do that's like, nah, that's assholish. Like your motives, that's assholish. The reason why you doing the shit you doing, that's assholish. And it's just like, nah, nigga, you ain't no asshole. And so like for me, it's just like a case of like at this point in time, older age, I denounce even calling myself an asshole. Like beforehand, you been like asshole. Yeah, I'm an asshole. You an asshole, so you be doing shit. But like, nah, fuck that. I ain't no asshole. I just be doing some shit. I be saying my opinions and giving my perspective. Don't make me an asshole. So just like that understanding for me, like I said, getting back mental responsibility of not even accepting and putting upon yourself negative terms and not like you can acknowledge negative actions or things that you do that you don't want to be doing, but like to just put upon yourself, like, cause at that point I was just putting it on myself, on my asshole. But like now that I less carry that weight or that feeling, it's like, nah, I ain't an asshole and I'm gonna move toward this. And then you can try to tell me I'm an asshole, but I'm gonna move differently because I know what's within me, what's in my heart, what's in my mind. I ain't no asshole. I'm just joking with people. And if you perceive it differently, that's understandable. We can have a conversation, but your perception does not determine my reality. You know what I mean? And so like that's the thing that I feel like you really just gotta kind of shift on with that shit. So like for me, that's what I really changed. And a part that I kind of even add up coming for the asshole shit, my family, like if you meet me, anybody I meet, like running and you like potentially gonna meet my family, I was like, hey, look, we talk shit, my fam. Like just straight up, nigga, I'm from Louisiana, North Louisiana, Bastrop, Strop City area, repping my shit. But we talk shit. Like my family talk shit. Like I grew up talking shit. My brother legit had a nickname for damn near everybody, and I got like fucking 5, 6 nicknames growing up. I ain't finna give y'all all them shits because the motherfucker was some bullshit half the time. But nigga had like buku fucking nicknames. So like growing up in family, like shit talking. Everybody got something smart to say. Everybody, like grandma, everybody got something smart. Everybody got slick mouth. But like for me, my viewpoint on it was like, oh shit, I mean that's cool. Like we talk shit, but it's all love. It's like it's cool. Cause like for me, if I don't fuck with you, I don't talk shit with you. I don't joke with people I don't fuck with. So if you like talking shit to me and I don't know you and I don't like you, I ain't got no jokes back for you. But if you fuck with me, I'm getting on your ass. Nigga come with them stupid jokes. You hear me? Roasted. So a thing that come to my mind is like my auntie one time, we was like back home, this probably like maybe like 3-4 years, something like that ago. It was at my auntie house, and it was just me and my brother over there with her, and then we got to running about something, like them two was talking. I think I was more like in the cut just cooling while they was talking. And son came up, and I just remember her saying, like, yeah, everybody in our family always got something smart, like I always had jokes or something, but then people like always getting their feelings, and it's like, damn. And it wasn't even said like probably in that exact tone or whatever. That wasn't the tone she said it with, but it was just like more everybody always joking, but it's just like people getting their feelings. And for me, that was a little eye-opening because like I always view my family as like, oh, we always talking shit, this shit cooling or whatever. But it's like, damn, you know, sometimes my family, people do be getting their feelings. Like I don't really get my feelings too much because in my mind it's like, if you joking with me, you fuck with me. And if you fuck with me, you ain't trying to hurt my feelings. So I ain't taking too much offense to too much. Like it's rarely if you fuck with me, I'm assuming that you trying to say something to hurt my feelings for real. Cause it's like, you fuck with me. Why would you try to hurt my feelings? I would never try to hurt your feelings. So why are you trying to hurt my feelings? But it's just like, realizing like what her saying that is like, I can even think of like conversations I done had or something I done said to like a family member and it was like light heart, cooling or whatever. And then I'm like, the thing that they said showed me like, nah, they was offended by what I said. Oh, hold on. Oh, damn, you really think I'm saying, come on, I'm joking with you. I fucks with you. Come on. But it's just like understanding, though for myself, I might can say jokes and I don't really take shit too deep. Like you really gotta say something sideways. And still I'm gonna probably try to ask you like, yo, what was that? But it's like, folks, you know what I mean? That ain't how they viewing it. And for me, just like realizing, oh, that's like for me on the aspect of like those around you, like you potentially bleeding on people around you. Though I know I can joke and I'm gonna joke like that, but I try to be conscious because of understanding even the people who seem like they okay, they might not be so okay. And it's like buku people who like who just, you know what I mean? Like it's that common thing, like, oh, the person who joking and laughing the most probably like hurting the most. And like for me, it's just like, yeah, that kind of be the thing sometimes. But I know like for me, I'm gonna let your head know if I'm hurting. But that's kind of a big thing. Sometimes people like have trouble like talking about that type of shit. So that's just something like big on how it's viewed. And like another thing for me, I remember like with my bro, I ain't gonna like, damn, this podcast, like I'm finna talk for a minute. But yeah, like my bro, he was, I know like one time he told me, like another time we like riding back to the apartments I used to stay in. And he was like, oh yeah, man, I know like he was talking about shit going on with the family, like back home, cause we stay out in the H and shit, Houston. And so he was just like, oh yeah, like you can just kind of like talk about whatever, cause you don't really care about what's going on with the family. Like that shit hurt me like a motherfucker. I was like, what the fuck? You think that of me? You think I don't give a fuck about what's going on with the family? But it's just like, because of how I handle myself and how I move, it can be like that. And I feel like it's just like aligned with like how most people who talk like how I talk are probably more assholes. But like my heart is like big as shit. But don't fuck with me. But yeah, so it's just like him saying that just kind of really fucked me up, because I don't even think I said too much at the time. Like I might have said something small, but like I ain't really like say too much to him. I recently said something to him about it, but it was just like, that shit was like buku years ago. But like it fucked with me enough to where that shit still hitting my head. It's like, damn, the nigga thought of me as like, I don't give a fuck about what's going on with the family, when it's just really like, for me, I know I have so much personal shit going on sometimes, and I want to help others, but like I know you can, again, on the case like I told you in the beginning, mental responsibility, taking care of yourself, making sure you okay. Like help people when you can, but sometimes you're not in a state where you can help people to that kind of level. Like, oh, I might can be hurting to help you a little bit, but if you're at a state where you ain't trying to do enough to help yourself, I can only do so much to help you, because there's a point in time when I extend my hand so far and so low that now I done fell over trying to help you up, and you just over there looking at me laying down and not even trying to stand to your feet. And it's like we just both over here sad and fucked up together. And I could at least make sure I was good when I reached down to you. Like, nah, I'm solid, firm ground when I'm pulling you up. But I know sometimes shit, I ain't been at that. And I can't pull myself down and just be at the point now I'm in the pit crying like a motherfucker, not able to stand up. My legs broke because I done went down trying to help you. My love for you is unchanged, but I know I got to also make sure I'm okay. I got to make sure I'm good. I got to make sure I'm not sad as shit. I don't want to help you, and then after I help you, I'm sad as shit crying, and then a week later, you sad as shit crying, and we both just sad as shit crying. We ain't both got to be sad as shit crying. And so, like, just, you know what I mean? Not being an ass and how you choose it, but understanding sometimes when to choose yourself, and that's with family, loved ones, whoever it may be. And shit, even just sometimes strangers, because don't forget, sometimes it's good to help strangers. And even like with that, like we're kind of like getting into some of them topics of like how I'm viewed and shit like that. Made me think of like some recent times, like a nigga crying and shit. Like I ain't no bitch and no shit like that. But hey, look, fuck it. Sometimes you have times where you crying, and I say it like that because kind of just that like I ain't the type of person who feel like, oh, dude crying, oh, you gotta be strong and shit. Man, you got me fucked up, man. I'm a person with emotions, feelings. I just ain't finna drop these tears for every little thing, but shit, if that shit hit a nigga, man, I'm gonna drop the motherfucking tears. I ain't too hard for that shit. You feel me? So like, and it's the same subject. Two people I like my most recent times crying for. One of them was with Jade, with Killa, and another one was with my sister-in-law, Michelle, you know what I mean? So, and both of them came up on it was for the same exact reason, and it was just like, honestly, caring, for me, it was caring too much about the things of people around me. So it's like, and it's not like, I don't want to care, it's just like, I want them to be better, and like, it's like, if I let you so close to me, I want you to be so much better, but it's like, that shit ain't on me. Like, I can want you to be better, but sometimes I hold that weight too much, and I like have conversations too long because it's just like, fuck, I want you to be so much better. I see so much better in you. Come on, you better than this. You better than this. You better than this. But it's just like, and shit, sometimes for me, shit, I need them conversations because shit, it's buku shit I need to be better at. But it's just like the way that like that shit sometimes will like really just fuck with me. So just kind of like had a point in time. Let me see what was going on. It's just like, I don't know, just certain people. It's like, it really was just like with the people in my life who I love, who like take up all the space in the room sometimes, like emotionally. And I feel like this probably could be something I could dive into deep on another podcast or something. But just like people who like, when you have a conversation with them, there's no space for you to have emotion. So like, it's people who I sometimes deal with. I don't share as much of my emotions with them because I'm the type of person. I don't go to therapy because I'd rather have a therapeutic conversation with people around me. Everybody can give you information, whether you call it the dumbest motherfucker, the smartest motherfucker, whatever the fuck it is. They can have perspective that I don't have and bring something new information in my life, help me reflect on myself. I try to be self-aware enough so I don't feel like I need to go to therapy. So for me, having people who I can talk to, but if some people is like, I can't even though I want to, I can't talk to you about certain things because you always have something going on to where it takes up all the space to where there's no real space. Like, I don't really want, if you always got something fucked up going on, I don't really want to tell you about the shit I got going on, the bad shit. It's like, yeah, you never happy. Like, why the fuck I don't want to hear whatever you got to say to me. There's no room. Like, I don't want your advice. And let me try to be here for you. So it's just like no room to kind of talk sometimes to certain people. Still love them. It's still love them, but it's just like there's no emotional space. Like happiness and all that cool and shit, that's cool or whatever, but the emotional space to how I feel to have that deeper conversation to where I feel like I want to put this on you. Because shit, that's the thing. Sometimes that's that putting their weight on you. But it's just like dealing with people who like constantly like putting their weight to where I feel like there's no room, there's no space in the room. So the thing is, like I said, I think that's a later topic. I might note that down, something to talk about later. But just with that, I just felt like I couldn't deal with it. Just like the shit was getting to me. So like, the one with Jay, when it happened, was a conversation, same type of topic or whatever. But I had something going on, like family-wise, some shit. And the person I was talking to, I was literally talking to somebody before I called and hit Jade up. But the person I was talking to, like every time I kept bringing something up, they made every conversation about them. Like I'm bringing up the situation was going on. It kept coming about them and like shit, they wound up talking more about them than what I'm going through some. This is like a deeper topic for me. It's like, hey, I want to talk to you about this. But it just kind of became for me, there's no space for me to talk about the shit that I want to talk about. Yeah, so I was like, hey, let me holler back at you. And so I called Jade, and I mean, shit, love to Jade, but sometimes she might kind of do the same kind of thing, like less space. So I just told her, yeah, so like love to Jade. So I called her, and I was just like, hey, look, let me just get space. I just want to vent on this shit. I don't really even need like too much like the feedback too much. I just need like a space to kind of just vent this shit out. And so it just kind of was talking about the fact that like, hey, look, sometimes, man, look, I just feel like it's just too fucking heavy. Like just sometimes dealing with certain people, just I can't talk to about shit, and I just feel like all this weight of like, goddamn, I care so much about what people got going on. And it's like I ain't gonna get into other people's business or what's going on, but like just different people in my life got like major shit going on, major emotional shit, major life changes, major shit that just really fucking with them. And it just was like, fuck, goddamn, damn, this is weight, like, cause it's like the type of people who is like, I love you and I care for you, but like when you call my phone, it's like, damn, I feel like more than likely this shit finna be about some shit instead of like potentially, hey, how you doing? Hey, let's talk about good shit. And it's just like, fuck. So like that weight was heavy as fuck on me. So like I eventually like talking with her, just like going through it. And nigga wound up dropping some tears while I was talking about it, just because that's just how heavy that shit feels for me. Just like giving a fuck about what y'all got going on. And it's just like, damn, that shit was fucking with me. So, and I mean, I appreciate what she was able to do. Like she was able to talk to me, like be there. And like that shit was big for me at the time right then. And I feel like probably like a week or something like that later, shit, I wound up talking to, like I said, my sister-in-law. And one of the crazy parts is me and my sister-in-law don't really talk like, not like that. Like I fuck with her, we fuck with each other, but it's like, we ain't just talking on the fucking regular. But I was just like, I don't know, I just went having a good day, and I was like, man, who the fuck can I call? I was like, and I hate that I kind of like went through my list. It's like, all right, who can I talk about anything? Who ain't gonna make it all about them? But then who can I have this emotional space conversation? And I kind of went through my long ass list. I don't fuck with a lot of people, but I went through my list and I ended up with her. And so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna call her. And so we wound up talking like just lightweight shit. And the thing is, because of how she is, she's the type of person who I felt like could be the best in that situation, what I needed. Because I needed somebody who wasn't gonna who was gonna be able to give me like real conversation. What I want to say, like, not kind of like awe me, like not try to like, oh, it's okay, or just like all happy type shit, like give me like real kind of advice. Who like basically, like I say, somebody who could have the space to have the conversation, but who also wouldn't like placate to me or like, oh, like, because sometimes people just be like, oh, well, it's okay what you going through, and oh, it's like you don't need that sometimes. Like sometimes I like giving real, I want to hear real feedback, I want real advice, like give me real responses. So like she's somebody who I felt like who would keep shit real and also had the emotional space for me to talk to, and so that's why I wound up hitting her. I had some fucking words written down that I like. That's what I had wrote. Like her not make the trauma, like not make her trauma the conversation, and also not pacify me. So like somebody who wouldn't make it about them, but also who wouldn't pacify me. That's the word I want to pacify. I couldn't think of that shit for shit. But yeah, so call her, talk to her about it, and she did exactly what the fuck I needed to. Like she was able to like listen to me, give me advice. We could talk about shit, give suggestions, and she was just kind of like, hey, look, man, you just need to learn how. Because for me, I'm gonna talk. Like you got something going on, I'm gonna probably try to say something to you. But she was like, you need to learn how sometimes with people who don't understand that they kind of doing this or making the things or like not taking good advice, like they still doing the same shit. Sometimes you just got to be like, yeah, all right. And like, not obviously that's not the best thing for them or whatever, but it's just like for yourself, like, bro, you stressing over the shit they got going on, but they ain't changing and doing shit different. And shit, I kind of been trying to do that shit with like certain people, just like, and I was like, I talked it up with her later, like, yo, for sure, that shit really didn't help, like me having that bit more in my mindset, like, bro, you ain't always gotta say something. I ain't perfect, so I still be talking sometimes, but just like not feeling responsible to talk about every little thing that they give me back as far as feedback. And so like that's something that really helped me. Let me see. And the shit is like we're talking with her. I know like it's probably like folks who probably like, alright, for sure, you saying that shit or whatever. But I mean, maybe you just not able to deal with your people, friends, or they problems or whatever type shit. Look, bro, you can deal with. I can listen to. I listen to a lot of motherfuckers who I fuck with like shit, but it's like it ain't got to be everything. Like there's a percentage of time. If like most of the time it's a problem, like maybe you need to reflect on how you view life. If every damn day it's every time always a problem, but like. You could be like, oh, well, shit. Well, maybe just you didn't talk to the right person or you wasn't understanding whatever the other people had to talk about. And for me, a big thing that I want to emphasize, my sister-in-law, when I call her, man, when I tell you Shawty got shit going on right now, like, again, not getting her business, like, deep, personal, for whatever shit going on, but she was still able to be there for me as a friend. And so for me, that's like a big thing, like, for when I get back to that mental responsibility, that fact that, like, I know she got shit going on. We didn't talk to her about the shit she got going on. But within that time, she could still, like, find and be able to navigate within that space to be there for me, without making it about her, because shit, at points in time, like some of the shit involved got to do with her, or things like that. So, but she could still give me solid ass advice, be there for me, like legit be there for me, like not like you kind of like really dead, but you there for somebody, like be there for a motherfucker. Like I want you to know, like Shot, I really appreciate that shit, because real ass advice, and like I said again, knowing what you got going on, that like for you to be able to handle that responsibility to like one, take care of yourself, but also to be able to be there for me, like. That's a big thing. And like when I say like going like again, I done went in buku fucking loops and shit like that. I'm gonna get better at hitting these topics, but from there, like I want to just really hit a lot of shit, like give y'all the vibe of like me as a person as well. we're going into the topic. So I might fuck around, hit back on mental responsibility, or even like a bunch of the topics I talk about later on might be about mental responsibility to an extent. But yeah, so she just was like, I just really appreciate that shit. So just want to know, let your ass know, you know what I mean? And she already know I be talking mad shit. But yeah, so like just having that, and because sometimes you feel like you talking to somebody and you got people who just ain't able to hear you for real. Because even kind of talking back to like the part I was talking about, like somebody else like being on some other shit, like not being able to talk to them. Like I feel like I can listen to people, and of course I'm gonna give my fucking opinion. Like if you know me, you know I'm opinionated. I got thoughts and shit. I believe in standing on shit you believe in. But like just talking to people who are like, I feel like, oh, I can listen to you, but I don't feel like I can be heard when talking to you. And I'm pretty sure we got like, audience members who can relate to that. Like, oh, I feel like I can listen to somebody, but nobody hears me. You know what I mean? Shit, my bad. Hold up. Yeah, so like, I feel like you can you listen to people, but you're not able to be heard. And like for me, that's a thing. Like when it comes to like that choosing yourself thing, is balancing out one shit, even the people you allow to be around yourself. Cause like dealing with people who always talk about their problems but aren't really good at listening to you talk about your problems is something you might want to balance out. Like, I can be here for you, but can you be there for me? Because like I said, even within the aspect of like how I was talking about earlier with making sure you prioritize yourself and getting your mask straight first, you want to be around people who doing the same thing. Like the goal isn't to be the only motherfucker who putting on their mask and now you have to go put on everybody else's mask. You also want to be around some motherfuckers who can put on their mask as well. And now y'all got y'all mask on, y'all trying to fucking survive. Because let's be clear, if the fucking shit coming down the plane, you're probably in danger. You need more than that motherfucking mask. You might fucking be in water. You might be, I don't know. I don't want to get too much into the goddamn shit and get off and be like, what? That got morbid. But yeah. So just like making sure you got people who around like you feel like you can talk to. And like I told y'all earlier, like I'm the type of person, I'm loud, funny type of dude or whatever. And shit, just like anybody else, like I be loud, funny type of person who have emotions. But fuck that, I'm gonna let you know how the fuck I feel. And I definitely recommend that for other people. And like I said, like sometimes people might feel like I'm talking this shit or whatever, I just can't deal with the people around me. I can definitely handle and deal with the people who are around me, their problems and whatever they have going on. But I also know at times I got to make the decision for myself of when being there too much for you hurts me. Cause shit, nigga, I might feel like I can talk about all whatever type of shit. I still struggle with a lot of bullshit. Still struggle with a lot of shit. So just making sure like whatever the fuck you got going on, you can kind of keep pushing and pursuing, progressing through that shit. I don't know if that's the word I want to go with, but that's the one I'm running with. So I don't really got too much else on it. So what I'm gonna wrap up with, the way I want to wrap up any topic, any event that I have, is what I'm calling better, not bitter. So like whatever we talking about, you just the goal is like regardless of whatever the shit is, the goal is to be better, not bitter. Like because what the fuck bitterness help you? It just makes you feel that way. Even if the shit a hard topic or whatever, man, you want to be better on the other side of it. So, like for me, like just recapping the shit from the mental health responsibility. Look, like I said, you are first and foremost responsible for your mental health. Like regardless of whatever trauma you went through, whatever you went to, you got to do the work. You responsible for doing the work. You the primary person. Other people can help you along the journey, but you got to understand the person who carries the majority of the weight for your mental health is you. You are responsible for that. So just making sure you understand that. But within that, like, man, look, you got to care for others next. Because the real thing is, even though you're responsible for taking care of your mental health, sometimes the person beside you, you might need another motherfucker. So just as well as you want to make sure you can help another person out, once you're good and you can help somebody else, help them when you can. Because, like, there might be a day where you didn't took care of yourself, but fuck, you fall. Somebody else can help you up. So make sure when you can, help somebody else up. But like I said, again, prioritizing yourself. But when you can, help somebody else up. Shit, like I told you, make sure you find your happiness. That's a big thing on your mental responsibility, finding out the things that make you happy and making the sacrifices to get along the way to get to that happiness. Because I mean, fuck, it's gonna be a hard journey sometimes. A lot of things that make us happy require work. So be willing to put in the work to get happy, and the sacrifices for it. And like I said, make sure you finding yourself within society. Like, it's cool, like I agree, it's good to be a part of the community, but understand like sometimes that community may not align with what your beliefs are. and shit, be willing to do whatever you got to do to like step outside of that to make sure you okay. And if society or whatever telling you this is how you're supposed to do it, but you disagree, man, do the shit that you actually believe in. And I can damn near guarantee you gonna have days it's gonna be hard as fuck. Cause I deal with that shit like a motherfucker. But once you get on the other side of it, once you get out of the moments of, the way you're gonna feel about yourself is gonna be so much fucking better. So just take the responsibility to find out what truly make you happy. And on that, man, look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I really ain't got nothing more nigga to talk for a goddamn minute, way longer than I thought I was. I was like, damn, shit, I want the podcast to be roughly about an hour. I don't know if I can fucking talk for an hour, but shit, nigga been talking. So, hey, look, man, that's the goddamn first episode back. Again, man, shout out motherfucking Killa, you feel me? And I really ain't got too much else. So, man, look, that's it. That's the podcast, the StoryHouse show. Hey, look, it's all love, man. Y'all follow the podcast on social medias. It's StoryHouse.xo on almost all social media. So, that's just StoryHouse.xo. And, man, like I said, like, it's just straight love. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy AO. You can follow me. It's at AO Forever. I ain't really trying to push that shit too much, man. Y'all fuck with the podcast. Y'all already know, man, it's fam. Y'all in the house, but now y'all out the house. I love y'all motherfuckers, but get out the goddamn house. You can't stay. I don't give a damn where you stay at, but you ain't staying your ass here tonight. Get out. I will see y'all on the next episode, man. It's all love. Y'all be easy.
I've been going through some things, so much on my brain, just